Gather!
No, my sword! My apologies! Whirling snow!
Solidify!
Let's light it up! My apologies!
The Hilly-Churl worshippers have disappeared too? Was it all an illusion? That's true. Yes, it can't have been an illusion. It was neither illusion nor coincidence, and... Let's go, traveler. There is surely a reason for its disappearance, and I do believe that someday in the future, we shall... Could he really have been a sinner? And not a god? Kari Bear? Where has he gone? Oh, no, no, no. Maybe someone else came by and found him? No, it can't have been that. There's no sign of a break-in and no sign of anyone having been here. This does not bode well. What if he's spotted by a forest ranger? Wait a minute. This isn't how we left it. Oh no. Did he... The mirror, it's broken! He must have taken his mask off and seen what he looks like beneath it. Ah, if he'd just done as he was told! Ah, we have to find him. It's his scarf. He dropped it. Looks like we're going the right way. Come on. Caribert! Caribert! Where are you? Curses! Forest rangers.
Hey! Who are you? We haven't seen you around here before. What's your business here?
Have you seen a, hilly churl?
I asked you first. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
I said, have you...
Hey, whoa! Look, sir, there's no need to get so worked up. There are hilly churls everywhere. What's the big deal? We see plenty of them out here.
Exactly. Matter of fact, we just took out a few of them back there. Those dumb boneheads.
You... Forest Ranger scum! You spawn of the Seven are all the same! I'll have your heads if you so much...
You're raving mad! You've got some gall coming here to...
Curse you all, Forest Rangers!
I don't get it. Why make such a huge fuss over a few...
He'd only just regained his mind. So tell me, Forest Rangers, did you really spare none of them?
Jeez, you're really not gonna let this go. Fine, you weirdo. If you must... I was frightened at first, but it didn't seem to have any interest in me at all. It was just bumbling along and...
Yes! What?
Wait, you're leaving? Not even a thanks for the info, goodbye?
Caribert! Caribert, stop! It's me! It's Papa! Whatever you saw, it was... I told you, we're in a fairy tale... Caribert? How could this happen? He regained his mind. He must... Come! Caribert, we have to go home now.
Papa...
Caribert,
Papa, I can't take it.
please, Caribert. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. If only I'd known.
It's all too much. Papa!
Finally, it all makes sense. Ah, Traveler, you're a... Wait, no. Why am I still calling you Traveler? Oh, I have known your true identity for some time now. Oh, of course you haven't. With your status, you can hardly be In any case, I've been using a fake name this entire time. My real name is Clotar. Clotar Alberich. You saw it too, didn't you? Unmistakable, the power inside Caribert and the power of the one you call a sinner. It was one and the same. Yeah, I am positive now. It's the power... Oh, at long last. That is no business of yours. A sinner. Yes, Caribert did not deserve his fate, but now... It's wonderful. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom of fate. Huh? Sinister. Dangerous. Oh, I never imagined that you, of all people, would deny the Abyss. How ridiculous! We once believed that you would bring new strength and hope to Conria. To us, you were the Abyss. A wondrous mystery far beyond our imagination and comprehension. And the one who controls the Abyss can control everything. We yearned for that future. We looked to you to take us there. But what did you bring us instead? Oh, Prince of Conria?
What did he just call me?
Traveler! Hey, Traveler! Traveler!
You're awake! Oh, thank goodness you're awake! Paimon was worried sick!
What happened while you were unconscious? I checked the ley lines nearby. It appears that the Abyss tampered with them, and they've been Information and memories flow within the ley lines. What did you witness? You mean Clotar Alberich? After founding the Abyss Order, his faith in the Abyss led him to do a great many things. But the curse of immortality continued to torment his body and mind. And in the end, neither his faith nor the Abyss he worshipped could save him. After 100 years, he lost his mind, never seen again. Yet his dark legacy lived on. The defiled statue that we encountered previously was just one You could say that. He wouldn't be the Abyss Order's prince otherwise.
Are you alright? You have a troubled look on your face.
So you saw his memories from centuries ago, through your own eyes. It all but defies belief. Still, as I'd suspected, the notion of the loom of... And it seems closely connected to Clotar Alberich's son, Caribert, and what happened to him. And yet your brother never breathed a word of this incident to me. I wonder... Indeed. Clearly, this series of events sparked a long period of deep contemplation. What is it?
The field? What does that have to do with any...
You mean here? Well, let's start digging and see.
You scared the Duke out of Paimon! Did you rebury them yet?
A male and female skeleton, buried together. Interestingly, The male skeleton appears to have been interred much later, and it's holding a silk scarf in its hand. But what does this mean? And how did you know that there were bodies buried here? What? That's impossible. Unless Clotar Albery finally found a way to rid himself of the curse. This all raises far too many questions. I need time to think, and to search my memories for some missing pieces. We should part ways here.
Huh? You're just gonna leave? Why? You could come with us, you know.
It's better that we split up for now. I think that he might have seen you.
Who's he?
Yes. I have my suspicions as to his identity, but I need to confirm some other details before I can be sure. If the time is right, I will tell you when we next meet.
But what do you mean that he saw the Traveler? How is that possible?
I fear that while these things would limit anyone else, they are no obstacle to him.
What? Why? What is...
All right, let's leave it there. Get some rest.
There goes Dane. And just like that, it's back to being the two of us again, huh? What is it? Huh? Now let Paimon think. What were we... Oh, Paimon remembers. Nahida's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor. But we followed the clues. So much time has already passed since then. And it seems Sumeru's... Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time. And then Nahida won't have any more new problems to deal... Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble. Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out. Anyway, for Nahida's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious... But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about, anyway? Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it. Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see it.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle. So, when are you leaving?
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't...
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going-away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida? Oh, good point. Then There's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. What?
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru. All that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port! Wow! Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine! Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines! Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do! What do you think? Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Excuse me. Can I help you too? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no, no, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things, it's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should wait. Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydroarch?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest in affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about.
Yes, you're right. I guess try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get a...
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her. Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? Ah, I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
No, people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now, it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
Ah, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulated. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening. Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other.
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Farina?
So, she's the Hydro Archon?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, 2 unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people, I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few... But the Hydro Archon's entrance was... Miss Hydro Archon? How do...
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided in... You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa. Talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming...
Is she waiting for us to start?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady...
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see her.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady...
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were...
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will...
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that in.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. You're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall...
All right!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand opera.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time... Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clear.
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's Our Lady Farina.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait,
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
you tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy.
Ah, great magician Linny. My beloved citizen.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here,
Ta-da!
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Linny do that?
there. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the Traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic?
I thought it was pretty good.
Huh? I'm not sure what to think.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the
Performance? You see all
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. But when there are valid grounds, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House.
just like that! She's gone! Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation. So, now do you see what kind of
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the...
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in
But isn't the Opera House where criminals...
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate.
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. Oh, you really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your... This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps...
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has... It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how... Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine...
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole... Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for—
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places have already been completely submerged.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think we hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is...
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it.